John. Welcome to a Let's Play of Sonic Superstars. I know I started this on a stream, but we got sidetracked playing Pokemon. So Chappie and I are here to do our own Let's Play of
Hello.
this ourselves. Because
Hello.
because now commentary gets boring after a while. So we thought it'd be cool to do a Let's Play of this game.
Makes sense. Usually when I usually listen to non-commentary stuff as background noise. Not gonna lie.
Well, at some point, I enjoy it, but when you're playing like a platformer or something else like that, at some point you just get bored playing it by yourself. To me, I find
Well,
more enjoyment playing it with, you and friends.
that makes a lot of sense, especially because you can get some input from others. So that's another reason why. I hope my voice is enough.
People can hear you, I think.
Okay, good. Because I tend to have a very monotone voice.
Well, considering you're hitting,
But
considering you're hitting in the yellows and a little bit of red, they can hear you just fine.
okay. Oh yeah, it's because that.
No.
It's because my voice is very monotone, and I do watch the recaps of our streams. Sometimes I sound a bit off.
Well, because your microphone's either hit or miss sometimes, because either you lean away too far or you're too close. That's why you got to keep with certain distance. Like I'm about like 6 inches, 6-8 inches away.
Believe it or not, I do actually. I'm usually about 3 inches away because I worry if I'm too far away from my mic.
I believe if you wait a certain amount of time on the screen, a certain character pops up. Because if you notice, there's an empty slot. Top right.
Again, no spoilers, by the way, but yeah. Or I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yes.
Well, it's not a spoiler. I've watched a Let's Play of it. I think you gotta cycle through it a couple times, but I'll find a clip online. I'll find a clip online and just edit it in.
I meant spoiler to the audience, possibly.
Well, apparently you can carry over from PlayStation 4 if you had that, but I have a PS5 copy.
Sure. Why the fuck would you buy a PS4 copy if you have a PS5?
Believe it or not, sometimes the PS4 versions actually go cheaper on sale first.
That is true.
Like, I know some people who didn't buy Sonic Mania for the PS4 originally bought it because sometimes it was like $9.99 on sale for a deep clearance at like Walmart and stuff, and just put it on their PS5.
There is no. Oh, then again, there's no PS5 version of the game.
And for those wondering, I'm playing as Amy because I actually want to have fun.
Makes sense.
There's our boy Eggman. How do we know? He didn't even verify that was real gold. That could be chocolate coins for all we know.
That's true.
I believe that character's name is Tripper or something.
Trip is the the Stargazer, and the other one is they always either go by Fang or Knack, but I tend to say Fang.
I know it's Fang, Fang the sniper, but I know Trip is that character because apparently Trip is a trip slot.
Yeah.
This is not Green Hill Zone.
I know.
Bridge Island. Totally not Green Hill. Totally not Green Hill Zone, right?
Well, yeah. To be fair, most Sonic fans, or at least from what the ones I've spoken to, fucking are tired of like Green Hill.
Well, because it's a classic, but at some point the classics really goes. I want a speed shoes.
What I've stated, at least from my opinion of Green Hill, is I see how Green Hill Zone became disliked as the same way as how Kanto became disliked for Pokemon fans.
You notice there was a difference for Amy versus Sonic?
Yes.
I forget what this was. I haven't played Superstars in a while. This is the bonus. All you get is a ring. That's
The sad thing is that I haven't really touched Superstars since since I got it on Black Friday, probably because I played a little bit of it, but probably I might have stopped because that's when my cousin passed. Oh, that was, I know, a bit of a dark fact, I know, but that was kind of when I haven't played since then, to be honest.
That was fast. 7 seconds for the emeralds. Technically, I think you can get all 7 emeralds within like the first couple stages.
I believe you could, and that's usually been the case with a few Sonic games.
Well, technically, like if you played Sonic 3 Knuckles, you can technically get all the super emeralds in Mushroom Hill all by itself.
That's true.
I'm gonna clone. Okay, so I can just hit the trigger button.
I'm really glad that my brother got me an actual copy of Sonic 3, for the Genesis, like a couple years back, because
Well, I got you a Genesis Model 3.
That's true. Yeah, I'm glad that he got me a copy of Sonic 3, because the fucking I forget the name. The Origins version is absolute shit.
Well, Origins isn't the best remaster, but what I can give Origins credit for is that they have a that medal system to where if you mess up on any special stage, you can retry. That I like that for Sonic 2.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the only thing I could say I like about it is the fact that you can play as other characters in older games. I think that is pretty neat.
If you attach Sonic 2 to Sonic and Knuckles, you can play as Knuckles in Sonic 2, which makes the game more difficult, believe it or not.
Oh, that's true. But
because in Sonic 2 with Knuckles, believe it or not, he can't fully reach the Death Egg robots. I died in the same spot again.
Well, to be fair, this game has infinite lives, so it's more forgiving.
Those are a lot of games are moving in that direction because
yeah, I don't have a problem with that because at all. I know some people do. I don't.
Well, to some people, I know it bothers them, but it doesn't bother me because I like the infinite life system because I don't gotta grind for lives.
Yeah, that's true. Also, sadly I no longer have as much time to like grind for in games anymore because I'm usually a bit busier than some people, especially now with Pagoda, which was the name of the event I was helping to organize. Especially with that, even though it's monthly, it's still like that.
Still not as busy. You just don't like grinding.
I don't, but no, I'm just trying to make it sound like for the audience, or at least or something. But essentially, what I'm saying is that, yeah, I do not like grinding, but also at the same time, I can't basically play games all the time.
You can just say that you don't like the grinding aspect.
Makes sense. Or at least, I mean, there's some nostalgia to it, I will admit. Especially in Pokemon, I will admit there is a bit of nostalgia, and it basically makes it play through a little bit longer.
But yet you didn't like that aspect in Pokemon with the XP share.
Oh yeah, the EXP share. No, I said I did not like how EXP share became forced because I felt like it makes it too easy, which that's what I said. I have a lot of nostalgia before the EXP when you actually did grind.
Ask me to get a medal and I'm not getting no stupid medals.
That's what I was saying, is that I have a lot of nostalgia for that. But I did not like how some of the games did it with the EXP share. Like, for example, the Diamond Pearl remakes actually felt a lot easier than the originals because of the EXP share. It made me realize, damn, like the fucking Sinnoh games are pretty easy without it. With the EXP share, because I remember that being a little bit more difficult growing up.
Well, I know some people like the grind of Pokemon. I personally don't.
I kind of like the grind a bit. It's just nostalgic to me. I guess it just, for me, it just kind of lets you get to know your Pokemon better.
I grew up with them. I grew up not with yeah. Well, technically I started with Ruby, but I grew up with that generation. I just never liked grinding. I just like
Actually, with Ruby Sapphire, the grinding isn't too bad. I will admit,
it can
because
be with it can
those
be with
games,
some Pokemon. It can be with some.
yeah, no, but the thing with Ruby Sapphire is that the games aren't that difficult. Honestly, they're pretty. They're pretty forgiving for the classics compared to like Diamond Pearl or Black White. They are a little bit more forgiving.
You know why people
Or
prefer Amy Rose for this for
yeah,
Sonic Superstars?
yeah, I could say.
I hit your head. Come here, Egghead. Come here. Now he has Spike. It's the diet version of Big Arm.
But yeah, like I do remember. But yeah, whenever people ask me which Pokemon game they like they want me to recommend to them first, I usually always say I usually always recommend Ruby and Sapphire first, as they are, you know, pretty easy to get into.
They're also expensive.
They are, yeah. I own both versions. I own both versions physically, thank God. But they are they are quite expensive though. Although Ruby Sapphire have, I would say that their prices have gone on a little bit. Emerald, no, that's all.
I somehow got a trophy.
Oh, nice.
The ring. There. And no, for the audience, I am not playing the fruit stages, so don't ask. Because I don't like the fruit stages. So the fruit stages can't be pretty much glorified bonus rooms.
I know. I did. I think I did a few of them when I played it for a while.
You ever play as like Sonic, Tails or Knuckles?
Yes, I did. I did try out all 4 characters.
Which version did you like then?
I mostly just. Well, I liked Tails mostly because simplicity, but I usually played as Sonic, though, for the most part.
I would say people prefer Amy in this game because of the double jump. The rings away. Oh, they brought back this stupid shit Sonic City. I do not like those little loop-de-loos where I have to push a directional, aspect. I don't like it.
I'm probably the only one. I don't know. I've always liked CD for some reason.
A lot of Sonic fans like City. I'm part of a minority that don't.
It's understandable. It's like me with Pokemon XY, I guess, which I found out that was actually quite popular with the community. I did not know that.
Because that's what that's what some people came back to this series. Like
I think my issue with XY, actually looking back, actually after watching after doing the whole, your Let's Play with that, it did kind of change a little bit of my opinions on XY. Like maybe I was a bit harsh on it, but I think at the time the reason why I didn't like it was probably just the fact that there were only like 70 new Pokemon. I think that might have been the reason why.
You can do so much with Pokemon.
I think I have a theory though, is that the reason for this was there are two reasons. One was I believe the transition to 3D, and the second one being Megas.
You didn't like it?
No, I like Mega originally. I believe it or not, when I first believe it or not, when Gen 6 came out, I initially did not like Megas at all.
Really?
No, I thought it was I just didn't like the idea of some Pokemon having, like, a 4th stage. It just felt like I wasn't welcome to the idea of some Pokemon having, like, maybe a 4th evolutionary stage, even though it's more of a form than an evolution.
Ow.
It just was. Initially, I wasn't very welcome to the idea of a Pokemon having, like, a 4th stage. But what made me appreciate Megas was actually when they removed them. That's when I realized, damn, I kind of miss this.
Didn't realize that most of these Mega Evolutions had like special stat boost.
They did, yes. No, I said like it felt like I think at the time it was just more like I wasn't welcome to the idea of some Pokemon maybe having a fourth evolutionary stage, like or something like that.
Technically, I can do Act on it. Is a thing. I'll do
Yeah.
Act Sonic, or go straight to Act 2.
I tend to I did the Academia one, but I think you could do Act two if you want to.
Act Sonic has never done the other acts stuff. Or I just don't like
Ah,
the fruit acts, because I just think they're redundant.
yeah, yeah, makes sense.
I mean, they're redundant
With
because you don't need really to collect rings stuff for the achievement.
mhm. Although I do remember with
What?
but yeah, that was my initial opinion because I felt like with giving Pokemon like for some Pokemon like let's say Charizard like multiple megas or like giving it like a fourth, essentially a fourth stage, it just felt a bit off to me as a like at the when it came out.
Assuming I just have to
Uh,
dodge the lasers here.
yes.
I gotta hide this stage.
Although I feel like my opinions on megas changed of once like they were kind of gone. Like initial, like that's or at least that's how I feel. Like once megas like kind of vanished, I kind of like realized like damn, I kind of missed this a little bit.
That was fast.
It wasn't that. That was kind of so. It's like you don't. To me, megas was just like kind of like you don't really appreciate it until it's gone. Type of
Well,
moment for me.
I didn't mind it because I got the boost, so it didn't really affect me. But we got a bullet. That's the best move I heard in the
No,
game.
no using it didn't bother me. It was just more just the idea of them.
I hit square. Oh. Okay, so I can do it this way. I'm gonna hold square. Okay, I can't just tap. Yes. Got 2 emeralds. It's not bad.
Yeah, so
But,
that was
the thing is, if I don't get the thing is, if I don't get all the emeralds,
But yeah,
ah,
once megas got removed and stuff, that's kind of when I realized like damn, I kind of miss megas, because like the later gimmicks weren't as great, unfortunately.
well, the thing is, it's like with Pokemon all Violet and Scarlet and Violet, they had to introduce a couple new things because you can't do the same formula every single time. It don't work.
That's true.
Now.
Actually terrestrialization was not that bad. I already said for me the worst of the gimmicks was Dynamax, as it was essentially just shitty megas basically. They can only last for 3 turns.
Nerf to spin dash.
And of course, so that was kind of like the main issue with I had with Dynamax or Gigantamax. Actually, they were just basically shitty megas, essentially.
Do you think
They only last for 3.
do you consider them ripoffs or?
Not rip-offs, just shittier versions of megas as Gigantamax. Essentially, they only last 3 turns.
That's all they last for was 3 turns.
They're 3 turns instead of like a mega that would last for the remainder of the battle.
Fang's back. I believe Fang made his debut, I believe, in Knuckles Chaotic.
I don't think he was in Knuckles yet.
Thinking
It
of Mighty
was
the Armadillo. I know he was in the
Oh,
game.
Sonic Triple Trouble. I think you
That
might be thinking of
that
on
shitty game.
Game Gear.
That
Yeah,
shitty game.
most people don't really think of the Game Gear games, to be honest.
I know the Game Gear games because I had Sonic Mega Collection Plus growing. Like I played the old Sonic games on Game Gear. They're actually quite fun once you understand the mechanics, because there is a bit of a difference in terms of mechanics. Like I believe we didn't get a spin dash till I think the Sonic 2 one. But Sonic 1 on the Master System, which essentially your game, when you play the Game Gear, essentially you're playing the Master System port. Have you ever played the Master System version of Sonic 1, Sonic 2?
I think I might have an emulator a long time ago. But basically the Game Gear was pretty much just like a Master System.
It was a handheld Master System.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's why I know some people undervalue it for that reason. I don't get why the Game Gear gets a lot of hate.
Oh, but you gotta understand though, at the time, that's like pretty impressive.
Oh, it was for the time. It was impressive.
Especially compared to the Game Boy, but I think the reason why people did not like the Game Gear was due to its battery life.
I think honestly, the Game Gear was ahead of its time.
It was like most things that Sega does. It was just honestly ahead of its time.
Like they were ahead of its time with the Sega CD. It had stereo audio. It had technically better graphics card in it. The storage in the Sega CD wasn't that bad for its time. It had more expansive storage. It's just the issue with the Sega CDs, what I tell people a lot is there's a lot of those like movie type game interactive games.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like those basically, I don't know what the fuck you call those, but like they're more like interactive, like
interactive point and click.
Yeah, that. But the reason why there is an actual reason why they did that. I believe the reason why was to kind of show like, hey, look, we can put actual like film onto our games. It was just meant to.
If I want to watch a movie, I'm just gonna VHS it.
That's true.
And in higher quality.
Like I know, like one game reading is like Night Trap is essentially this.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, a lot of them were kind of like shitty, but
Night Trap was one of the only ones that get it right.
Yeah. No, Night Trap actually did it well, but I mean, there were others like Corpse Killer, which were like almost like that were played similar to like House of the Dead, essentially a rail shooter.
Well, I don't like what those movie interactive games they just felt.
Oh, a lot of them were very corny, and I feel like that was kind of the whole point of some of them. But basically, yeah, they didn't sell very well since.
Most people didn't sell that well. I know.
People didn't. Maybe Night Trap did, probably because of the controversy. I would assume at the time, even though the game's quite tame, it's just
there implied nudity and stuff in there.
I think so, but
yet they let Plumbers Don't Wear Ties go on the Philips CDI.
Actually, that game just got a re-release, believe it or not.
Hey.
Because it's funny.
Hoping they cut a lot of this shit out.
They didn't. It's just M-rated now. They didn't remove anything. It just now has an actual M rating. Well, it actually had an M rating back in the day, but yeah.
Supposed to go for teams. I see a vine. How am I supposed to get up there?
Oh, try the other. Maybe we touched that vine, I'm guessing.
Because I did that the first time and it gimps me. Oh, what can you do, really? What do you like about Stupid?
I honestly like it visually.
What do you like about it visually?
Mostly just the fact that it kind of goes back to like the classic style, essentially, but in 3D, and that hasn't really been done.
Technically, it's 2.5.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, like 3D like models. So
I think it's cool that they brought.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Generations technically started it, so
that's true. Yeah.
If we're getting, I am gonna get that. I think it's an add-on. I think if you have it on, I have Generation.
I know they're remaking or remastering it or something. I don't know.
Well, if it's a remaster, I'm probably gonna get a full copy anyway, so I can have a physical copy.
I plan on seeing the reviews first because I don't know what's gonna be like.
Okay, you want me to watch it? Okay, you want me to play it?
I that, and also I just rather see how it is before, because I don't know if it's gonna be like Sonic Colors Ultimate, where it was a really shitty port of a Wii game.
That was one of the very few Sonic games I did not buy. I knew it was gonna be crap because I wasn't the biggest fan of Sonic Colors, believe it or not. What got me not interested in Sonic Colors was the motion controls on the Wii.
It's understandable.
I enjoyed the Wii growing up. I just wasn't a fan of the whole motion control thing.
I can understand that initially. I did not. Yeah, initially I did not like motion control.
Oh, that's
controls. Yeah, initially I did not like motion. I was fine with motion controls until later on, in which I was like, yeah, they kind of became a bit annoying.
You can argue that with VR.
Yeah, sure. The problem I have with VR is the fact that it's technically inaccessible to most people.
It's not inaccessible.
Inaccessible. Because of the fact that it's so expensive.
Depending on the model headset you want.
I know, but the only affordable
option... So you can get a used MetaQuest 1 and MetaQuest 2 for only a couple $100.
That's true, but my issue is the fact that Meta is the only one that's affordable, like under like $500.
Because no one else can make it cheaper.
But the problem with Meta is that it has a DRM, which is really annoying.
DRM I can understand from a business perspective because you don't want people stealing your.
Yes, it's.
That barely.
Yeah, but I think the fact that also just I never liked DRM shit. Hence, why do you think people didn't want to buy the Xbox One when it was first announced?
The thing is, the DRM companies do it so they don't pirate.
Yeah, it's true.
Still got no pairs. After Act 2.
Yeah, that was like the main, but I never was a big fan of the DRMs, and also
there's our best character right there. There she trips again.
You don't know anything about anything anymore. You don't know what you're talking about when you talk to me. Why won't you just shut up and keep your opinions to yourself? No one wants to hear that intro. Why don't you go kill yourself? La, 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 la.